And now on to, more serious news. We have Chipukeezy finally coming to the defense of Kenyan entertainers. Now, for the longest time possible, his friend Eric Omondi has been doing the most. And most people are not here for it because we're thinking, you, Eric Omondi, are a comedian. Why do you seem to be having a voice?
You're a comedian, be funny.
You seem to be doing the most, calling out Kenyan musicians, saying this and this and this and this, borderline xenophobic because the things you be saying, okay? Canceling other artists and saying
out our Nigerian friends.
Exactly. Our friend later on is going to tell us what he thinks about this. But basically what Eric Omondi has been saying is Kenyan artists don't have a sound, we don't have a Kenyan sound. And I disagree with that because you can clearly tell what Kenyan music is and what Kenyan music is not. However, he's just been doing it in a very rash way, and it rubs people off in a wrong way, and people are left with a bitter taste in their mouth. Yes, you might be advocating for play more Kenyan music, but the way you're doing it, your delivery, constantly shaming people, how can you say, I am here to correct you, I am here to show you the path, these are the things we can do to get here. But instead, you're calling people lazy, you're saying, I don't know. It's just been a lot with Eric Omondi. So much so that, people are saying, you are a comedian. Why don't you have a Netflix special, okay? Why can't you focus on your comedy? What is the metric for measuring the success of a comedian? Because you're not funny, okay? Just retire.
International jobs. Trevor Noah is
just
living.
Retire, because we can
making noise.
And he can't say that there are no opportunities for comedian because Chipukeezy was, his US tour. He just completed his US tour. We have people who are completing the, Australian tours. We have people who are still on the Churchill show doing the most in Kenya. We have people who are really doing it. If you could check out, Showmax, stand-up comedies and everything, there is space for growth in the comedic industry. But he seems to have abandoned that, and now he's just doing the most. Cross-dressing, calling out musicians. Anyway, Chipukeezy seems to be doing it in a different way because he is saying we need an implementation of better working policies. Basically, he is providing a plan, and I won't read it because it is long. Na rusungu ni nyingi, nastaki kujaibisha mbele ya wageni. But basically, he's just providing a very detailed plan of what we could do, He's not calling out anybody. He is not shaming anybody. He's not abusing anybody. It seems it was a very well thought out plan. He took his time, he did his research, he put it all down in paper, and then he presented it to people. And that is what we want to see, okay? We want to see the steps. We just don't want to wake up one morning and we're saying, you people are stupid, you people are lazy, you should do better. How are we going to do better? Show us the way, okay? And we're here for it.
I love how detailed his manifesto for the entertainment industry was, and specifically for musicians in our country was, because he said it's not about trying to give gatekeepers the opportunities to then continue to prevent artists from getting these funds, these resources that they very much need, but it's about these gatekeepers being kept out of the way in order for access for actual people with talent to actually get and tap into it and be able to move on. But I love what Kamenegoro said about Eric Omondi specifically. I think about during the weekend, she said, look, we want to see proof of concept. You keep telling us how Kenyan artists aren't doing well, how Kenyan artists aren't running shows, how Nigerian artists are the ones who are coming in and all Kenyan artists are forced to be runner-ups for them, and so on and so forth. In fact, last week he was very angry about Ruga having performed in Meru, claiming that no Kenyan artist would be allowed to go in the middle of Nigeria and perform and people would actually turn up for that event. But she asked a very blatant question. She just asked him, dude, when is the last time that you supported a Kenyan artist? How do you support Kenyan artists? Is it by attending their shows, buying tickets to go and watch their shows, being present and providing platforms for them to actually perform, as opposed to just being on the sidelines and saying, oh yeah, you guys aren't doing right, you guys need to do better, people are overtaking you and doing well in the industry, where are you people? You need to create platforms. In fact, she called him out on an event that he'd planned on making to showcase these artists, and it never actually happened. So that's my question. We need to start seeing more manifestos, just like this one that Chipukeezy has given, showing Kenyans and Kenyan artists what the pipeline is, what the blueprint is, and then if they don't use it, then that's entirely their fault. But show us, how can we do it better? We keep asking this question on this show. Is it us, the stakeholders, who are failing artists? Is it artists who are failing us? Chipukeezy has clearly shown us the way. So we need to enforce these plans and see whether it will make a difference for all of us. These are just our sentiments and our opinions. What are yours?
Ama muende nyinyi wote benchmarking Nigeria lafu murudi. Aki.
0770-729-366. Do not listen to Turi because, hey, flight ticket is expensive. 0770-729-366. What do you think? Do you think that, you know, of course, Maureen Waitito is doing the most? Should she have kept this information to herself? Or do you think it was a good thing for her to speak about her mental health struggles? What do you think about Akode and all her haters and why she's always fighting them in public? And finally, Chipukeezy, have you read his manifesto? And what do you think about all of that? Do not forget, you can always lead with your name and where you're coming from, so we're able to know who you are and where you're coming from. As you said, number is always right here.
Exactly.